I've been afraid to speak out because he has intentionally engaged in a witch hunt. I know by me speaking out today, it will only make it worse. Mark my words. But today I say no more. I want to be a voice for others who suffer from abusive bullies. Today I stand up for all women, including men and children who have been victims of some form of abuse, in particular domestic abuse victims. Garry Bredefeld, over his tenure on this council, has purported to be tough on crime and a supporter of domestic violence victims. His hypocrisy is disgusting and laughable. Garry has proven to be a farce and complicit to the abuse he has not only covered up, but rewarded. I am sure that over the last 12 months, you have heard him repeatedly say and claim to say there's a stench in this building. Let me tell you, the only stench in this building is coming from his office. For the record, over the last 2 years, Garry Bredefeld has knowingly harbored a criminal in his office by employing him and paying him top dollar for his position as council assistant. Let me say that again. Over the last 2 years, Garry Bredefeld has knowingly harbored a criminal in his office. He protected a felon that was convicted of not 1, but 5 felonies, which included corporal injury, child abuse and endangerment, and assault by means likely to cause great bodily injury. The criminal he protected choked and threatened to kill the victim.
Is an extremely uncomfortable and difficult conversation to have, and yet, as I've come to find over the years, those are usually the conversations most worthy of being had. And there's only one good answer, and that is that Mr. Bredefeld himself is hypocritical. That he's only tough on crime when it comes to certain communities. That he does back down when it comes to protecting abusers. That he persecutes the weak because it makes him feel strong. I expect Mr. Bredefeld will only attack me and my colleagues more for speaking out, but enough is enough. So it's time to put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Bredefeld, and pay back that $250,000 to a local domestic violence charity. Yield the rest of it.
Again, with all of the lies and the mistruths, you keep saying that I've employed somebody who was convicted of 5 felonies. That's an outright lie to begin with. This person was charged with domestic violence. I believe in the rule of law. I believe in the ability to due process, the presumption of innocence. And last week, he went to trial. He pleaded no contest. And as a result, I said, you can no longer work here. And he submitted his resignation. This happened 2.5 months ago, and he was waiting for due process. He has been an exemplary employee here for nearly 5 years, and I gave him the opportunity to have his day in court. He was not convicted of anything over the last 2.5 years. So you're saying that he was convicted and I was employing a convicted felon is an outright lie.
I think perhaps one of the most troubling components of this unfortunate revelation out of the D6 council office is the feedback I've received from employees who work in the building, particularly at our second floor council offices, and particularly from women. As the council vice president, folks have not been shy about voicing their thoughts to the council leadership. Women wondering how something like this could happen, how they could unknowingly be forced to work alongside someone with this well-documented history of troubling behavior, that Mr. Bredefeld is in the business of protecting those who break the laws that he does not agree with. I want to communicate to the residents of Fresno that much like many of the positions taken by the District 6 council member, that these particular actions do not reflect the values of our city.